the first route from Bolga to Wa. I repeat, the first route from Bolga to Wa, but parts of this route have been neglected and have never seen reglavering since 1986, except now that something is being done on it. Our clinic infrastructure is nothing good to say. His Excellency, I can go on and on. So, where is the development? If actually politics is actually for development. Excellency, it is this age for the eastern part of Jirapa to get our share of the national cake that in 2018, I put a request to the President of the Republic of Ghana to carve out of the Jirapa East, to carve out the Jirapa East district or a constituency. His Excellency, it is our belief that the Jirapa East district or constituency, if carved out of the Jirapa municipality, all or most of our challenges will automatically be solved. We, the people of Ullo traditional area, and for that matter, we, the people of Ullo traditional area, and for that matter, the eastern part of Jirapa, see this as our major hurdle to our development and wish it is a dream come true. His Excellency, with about 102 years old and also reigning for more than 50 years as Ullo Naa and as a development-oriented chief, the creation of the Jirapa East district or constituency is my request to you and the NDC party. Should the people of Ullo, should the people of Ullo and Ghana give you the chance to lead us again. We hope and pray that come December 7th, 2020, you achieve your heart desires. Once again, I welcome you to the Ullo Paramountcy. Thank you.
Eyezu, ye kan menu pon akọ te bier ko la moyala. A Ullo Naa anu onnamine ba ka bata chota fi anakwa te president. Ka tina sorka kar ele wion ka a chota wo bebe ka Ullo Naa anu onnamine ka ba ka chota ka tede a president che ka president yele yela akote. Is the next one the JM speech? I know appeal ka te we on che pitch Tina mina wana la ya kar menu a charba bawana la taza ingala ka bawana bonat nan ta ka fi la cha jirma lale karata at wul to people na selle a chara at president incoming president or ya president bar apo bache bebe kema kullin temen to polo yala la katu wanya san tegro te tengan te chota ma ya daga paronga ana ko me madde gane te bing atiera te yela aparonga to na ko kusu okay aparonga te se porun yo abing ay zipil ka ono wadi analong aliawa te tenga te na segolo la nalong adi aparuna suga volo sepi ka yan wannan kala abe yezie be ka pura pion membe osien chambo kana elamen kat parliamentary candidate adite malale kat samen honorable excellency John Dramani Mahama Kuminti kabalanta tenemele gala kabazi yang menur charba a Ullo Naa na ngmen no wala yaga bataba fi karata onan bebe uyo maba pora na ngmen no po uyo yaga pampana te yelanda te a vinvinzie ate san tegeron ona yele yela asote sereku iri te na bore te parliamentary candidate honorable Cletus Sedu Dapla ko wadi ate san tegeron a wulti nena nan la chugo yele yela asote ayaza ya baraka yaza te Ullo Naa pong nambe che anu namine tendanaba ule nembere pobo bibiri bipola party biri nela neza nanwa lanche te poriela baraka yaga ane yanan lan ta che kaka titur te santeronga ay mala enno yaga zina babiri nambie dar zakar nara anaronga a challakar tour te santeronga ka azine babiri awobie ka adana song ka wulka asanterong obeti puang asana nga oyete mengania appeal o politics adaya assemblyman te Ghana palong bole sang ayibe awa telie MP olie MP atontoma yaga awadlie deputy minister Ghana palo atontoma yaga ayibe awatilie minister atontoma Ghana palo ayibe awagatilie vice president atontoma jama akote Ghana palo ayibe awate president atontoma jama anianga sowa nambora kandi wuliye o ye nie tiza nie za nambon tiza nie ne salba za nie bipolo za nie posare bipibre nie nanta no wanyono ata ne salba tiarong ata Ghana malo a ngusikirin ntie analaven kana nimbalanga nambeti ponzine ka ole malen posur ayeka lene onanya ka Ghana deme adire mongbene anyera tuoro se kula lie awadia de ko ale tono ka Ghana la wavem le onanda wana eyezu aniana nambo kandi wuliye amen nan yelwa ga che bibile za nan beche obonga niana nan la kan yela yela achara osobo beti puang kambora kambolu yor ka onala his excellency former president John Dramani Mahama, president of Ghana 2021 eyezu hey
Thank you very much. Your Highness, the Paramount Chief of Ullo Traditional Area, your elders, residents, natives of Ullo, and citizens of the Jirapa Constituency. I'm very happy to be in this community, and I know that this community has one of its sons who is very highly recognized in the history of Ghana, and that is the famous Salif Udagati, who was Nkrumah's bodyguard and is known to have saved Nkrumah's life. And so I'm happy to be here and to know that I'm stepping in the community that gave birth to him. I want to thank our paramount chief for the message he gave us. And in that message, he made a very important point. And that point is that we have a certain expectation from our democracy. And that is why every 4 years, we go to the ballot box to cast our votes. We cast our votes so that we can elect a government that will improve our lives. When it comes to improving lives, there are very many aspects to it. One, government has the responsibility to provide decent and sustainable work for our people so that they can earn a decent income to be able to maintain their dignity and be able to look after themselves and their families. The second responsibility government has is to improve the quality of life of our people. Because if you have a job and you have money, but you don't have a health facility, if you are ill, you would have money, but you cannot get good quality health care to treat yourself. We need schools so that our children can have a good quality education. We need roads so that if we have to travel, or if we are farmers and we have to take our produce to the market, we'll be able to get a good road to be able to easily access the market so that the drivers and other transport owners will not charge us too much for transporting our goods and services. We need electricity so that we can engage in small and medium enterprises and be able to make money for ourselves, sell ice water, be a vulcanizer, be a welder, auto mechanic, and so on and so forth. We need access to clean drinking water so that we will not be inflicted by waterborne diseases and have to go to a hospital to seek treatment for ourselves. And so one of the main objectives of the NDC government, anytime it has had the opportunity to be in the lead of this nation, has been to provide the needed infrastructure that improves the quality of lives of our people. We used to measure the richness of a country by the GDP. What is the size of the gross domestic product of a country? But now in most cases, we measure the richness and progress of a country by what we call the Human Development Index. What is the access of the people to quality healthcare? What is the access of people to education? What is the literacy rate in the country? What is their access to clean drinking water? And if you look at the provision of these factors that improve Ghana's Human Development Index, NDC has contributed the most in Ghana towards improving the quality of lives of our people. Development takes place in stages, and I know that as we provide, the demand exists for us to move the next step. Ullo has a clinic, but as the population increases, it becomes necessary to upgrade the clinic into a health center. It will become necessary to upgrade it from a health center into a polyclinic, and depending on how the population grows, probably into a district hospital. But like I said, in all these, development takes place in stages. And so our priority in Ullo, the last time we were in government, was to improve the road network around Ullo. And so we gave many of the roads on contract. Unfortunately, because the NDC left office, a lot of these projects came to a standstill. We had identified your secondary school, the Hen Secondary School, and several other of those secondary schools to upgrade the facilities there so that they can give a quality education to the children of this area. Unfortunately, we were not able to complete before we left office. And so I can assure now that I'm in a unique position because I'm the only president who has the opportunity to come back and correct his mistakes. No other president in Ghana can do that. And now people say, when you're cutting a path, normally you cutting the path cannot see is bending. But when you get a chance to stop working and come and sit and look at the path, then you can tell that I was veering off to the left. I need to straighten it. And so when you go back to work, you straighten the path and make it better. So I believe that a new NDC government will be a much better government than the previous one. In government, we did a lot of things that were very good, and there were other things that we could have done better. We have the opportunity to come back and continue the good things that we were doing. But we also have the opportunity to come back to make better some of the things that did not go very well. And so I can assure you now that your faith in us is not misplaced, and that I'm certain, as the youth leader said, that the people of Ullo and Jirapa constituency will give us their vote, and that NDC will come back into power. And that when we come back, we will continue all the projects that have been abandoned so that we can save the taxpayers' money. Because as I've said, those projects were not being executed with our personal funds. These are projects that were being executed with the taxes that all of us pay. And so when a new government comes, and just because projects were started by a preceding government, and out of political motivation, not wanting the credit to go to the past government, deliberately abandon those projects, it is a waste of the taxpayers' money. And so we need to invest in those projects and finish them so that the taxpayer can reap the benefits of what his money has been put into. We have several programs that we want to bring. In the past, our assumption was that infrastructure will drive growth of the economy and it will create sustainable jobs. And yes, it does. Because when you are building a school, the masons and the carpenters and the steel benders and all of them who work on the school construction are doing a job and they're being paid for it. The tipper drivers who bring the sand and stone are also earning money. The cement supplier who sells cement to the contractor to build the school is also earning money. The fuel station owner where the tipper truck goes to fill is earning money. The operators of the various machines are earning money. Even the woman who goes to the construction site to sell food to the workers is earning money. And so yes, infrastructure development creates jobs. But in our new NDC government, we're going to focus on infrastructure not just because it creates jobs. Every sector of the economy must have as its focus the creation of jobs for our young people. And that's why I'm talking about the 1 million jobs plan. And it's not going to be only in construction. It's going to be in tourism, it's going to be in afforestation, it's going to be in food production, it's going to be in agribusiness, in small and medium enterprises. We must create jobs, otherwise we'll be sitting on a time bomb. Because we have young people coming out of JHS, we have young people coming out of SHS, we have young people coming out of university. And it's a tragedy that they finish school and come and sit back at home with their parents with no work to do. And so our next focus is going to be on jobs, jobs, and jobs. Someone will say, but I don't have the skill to do any work. We will train you to do the work. And that is why we're attaching to it free technical vocational education and training. And so we're going to increase the number of technical and vocational training centers in all the districts so that nobody will have an excuse to not be able to acquire the skill to go into the world of work. If you want to do hairdressing, you have the opportunity to do it. If you want to do dressmaking, you have the opportunity. Auto mechanic, you will have the opportunity. Welding, whatever you want to learn, we will give you the opportunity to do so. And we're supporting this with a national apprenticeship program, where for those who are not in an area where you have a technical and vocational education training center, we will attach you to a master craftsman. And so if there's a master mechanic, you'll be attached to the master mechanic, and you don't have to pay the fee. We will pay the fee for you to go and learn. And after you've learned, we'll give you a certificate. And not only a certificate, when you have graduated and you're ready to go into the world of work, if you did dressmaking, we'll give you a sewing machine so that you can go and sit in Ullo market and start sewing clothes for people. Countries that have developed not because of long grammar education. They have developed based on the skills of their middle-level manpower. And until Ghana begins to produce that middle-level manpower, our progress will continue to be slow. And that's why we need a paradigm shift. The farmers are important. And we need to provide the tools for the farmers to be able to produce efficiently. Why do young people not want to go into agriculture? Because they don't want to go and bend over with a hoe and cutlass the whole day, growing granules or something like that. They don't want to do that. By the time you are 35, 40, your whole waist is finished, your knees, you can't bend down. Young people are not prepared to do that. And that's why before I left office, I cut the sword for the first Farmers Service Center. It was going to be an agricultural mechanization station, so that young people or anybody who wants to go into agriculture and wants the services of mechanized agriculture will register with the center. And so if you have your piece of land, you want it plowed for you, they'll come and plow for you. After you harvest, you want a thresher to thresh your soya bean or your corn or your rice, they will come and thresh it for you. And the good thing is, once you are a registered member of the center, you don't need to pay cash. After you have sold your produce, then you go and pay for the services that was rendered to you. We cut the sword. Unfortunately, the new government came and they did not continue that program. It is in our manifesto that when we come, we will revise the farmer service centers so that they can give mechanization support to our farmers. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. Unfortunately, in Twi, they said, agrono sono na adiesa kwantuni. As the game becomes more interesting, darkness is growing for the traveler. So I'll introduce, I've just been reminded that my chief raised some issue about division of the constituency. What happens is we normally redemarcate districts and constituencies after a population census, because redemarcation is based on three factors. One, the population. Two, the size of the area. And then three, the economic activity that takes place in the area. Because when you demarcate a district or a constituency, it must be economically viable. There was supposed to be a population census this year, but because of coronavirus, it was postponed to next year. So next year we're going to have a population census, and we will get the population figures for all the existing districts. And based on the population figures, the size and the economic activity, we'll redemarcate new districts. And I'm confident, looking at your registration figures from the last registration exercise, the voters registration exercise that took place, it looks like with regards to population, you do qualify to have the constituency split into two. And so I'm sure that when the time comes, after the population census, Ullo Naa and his elders will come to Accra, to Flagstaff House, and remind your son that you made this request for a splitting of the constituency. And you'll be very warmly received, and it will be very positively considered. So I want to thank you very much, and to introduce our parliamentary candidates to you. And as I do so, I will also acknowledge my younger brother, our Honorable MP, Honorable Mahama. We say that in unity lies strength. If you take a broom and you pull it out in pieces, you can break the whole broom. But if you leave the broom together and you try to break it, you'll be unable to. And so united we stand, divided we fall. We have said that politics is like a relay race. You run your shifts, you hand over the baton, another person runs, hands over the baton, and you continue running and cheering each other in their segments of the relay so that your team will win. And so a time comes when you hand over the baton to another person with a fresh pair of legs to also continue running. Then you can rest. Maybe later they'll call you at another stage of the race to take the baton again. And so that is what is happening in this particular case. My younger brother, Mahama, has run his segment of the race, and he's handing over that baton to his brother with a fresh pair of legs, Cletus Dapila, to run the next segment of the race. And he will stand and he'll cheer him on and clap and say, Cletus, go faster, 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 he's coming. That is how politics is. And so we all know that ultimately we want to win the election so that we can govern. But I've said there's space within the political firmament for everybody. And as I said in here, I gave the example of Jesus Christ on the cross when there were two people who were tied to the cross next to him. One of them did not believe in Jesus Christ, but the other one believed. And he said to Jesus that, remember me when you are in paradise. And I said to my brother, Mahama, he's a believer. He's not the one who didn't believe. He's the one who believes. So I said to him, I won't forget you when NDC gets to paradise. And so for those who understand the parable I've just given, you understand. And so I thank you very much. Let me introduce Honorable Cletus Dapila, well, soon to be honorable, as the parliamentary candidate.
It's already honorable. He was a DC. So.
Oh, okay. He earned the honorable tag as a DC. So Honorable Cletus Dapila as the candidate for NDC in the Jirapa Constituency. And I crave your indulgence to all of you support him to win the parliamentary election. And so there are no factions in the NDC. There's no Dakura faction, there's no Dapila faction, there's only one faction, which is the NDC faction. And so I'll raise his hand so that you know that he is the accepted candidate for NDC in the Jirapa constituency. And I present to you Honorable Cletus Dapila. Thank you very much, and God richly bless you. Just one last thing. My attention was drawn that because I'm wearing the mask, some people are not sure whether it's actually JM. Maybe you've gone to bring somebody to come and pretend to be JM. So I've been asked to remove the mask for a little while so that you can confirm that it's me. Okay, so here goes. Thank you. Yeah, barka, barka. My brother, thank you. Thank you.
Ayazu, Ayaza, at the Yelena Ate Akuluzie.
waja shong. Waja jaga, waja shong. Waja jaga, waja shong. Waja jaga, waja shong. Kaja Israel, kaja Egypt, kaja Ethiopia, kaja Sudan, waja shong.